Welcome back to Sports Extra, presented by your local Toyota dealers. So the Jets fall to the Steelers in their home opener, 34-32. Yet there was so much more to this game than the Jets losing. So joining us now to break it all down and pull back the layers, help us kind of keep up with all those lead changes that also happened in this game, Zack Rosenblatt, who covers the Jets day in and day out for The Athletic, joins us. Hello, Zack. Saw you earlier today. How are you now?
I'm great, Tina. I'm happy to have actual football to talk to you about. It's been a long season of speculating. So
you know what?
I'm ready.
That is a very good point. And actually, really good football we got to see from the Jets today, despite the loss. So let's start with Aaron Glenn saying right out of the gate today he is not into moral victory. So we're not going to sugarcoat this. But what did you see in the way that the Jets played today that shows they are a better team possibly than last year?
You know, it's funny talking to Sauce Gardner. He kind of went out of his way to point out, like, the offense scored 32 points. Like, they haven't done that very often for us around here. Like, it was usually the offense not doing their job, the defense kind of carrying the load, and that was hard to sustain, and they didn't win a lot of games. And it was the opposite today. It was the offense looked really good for the most part. I mean, Justin Fields, like, if you want a silver lining in a moral victory, which I know he doesn't want, it starts with Justin Fields. I mean, he had full command of the offense. The running game was really going, and that's largely because of him in the backfield. He made some really good throws. His touchdown to Garrett Wilson, 33 yards, was beautiful. And, you know, if you want to be encouraged by this Jets team and think, like, okay, maybe they have a little something to them, it starts there, because Justin Fields was frankly the biggest question mark this team had. It's important not to, like, overreact to week one stuff, but Justin Fields looked a way he hadn't all summer. Like, I didn't see him play like this in practice the entire training camp. So that's the most encouraging thing to come out of today.
Yeah, and I was most impressed with the way that he threw the ball and the confidence. So is it the offensive system? Is it the offensive line? What made the difference for the Jets quarterback today? Or just Fields playing better than he ever has?
It's a combination of a lot of things. I think, you know, the Jets kind of announced to everybody that they were going to.
The other quarterback, yes, Jets fans, you know, it is a big storyline here. And really, we learned today, too, the first time in NFL history, teams are playing in week one against each other where they swapped quarterbacks in the offseason. And you wrote so much about Rodgers and behind the scenes, a lot of the stories from last season. He said how he knew, or he thought, that many people in the Jets organization didn't think he could play anymore. Well, 4 touchdowns and a win later, he did look good. What was different about him besides the uniform and the way that he played?
You know, honestly, and this is not to denigrate him, because 4 touchdowns is nothing to sniff at.
Yeah, and okay, let's talk about the Jets defense and mistakes. I mean, the unnecessary roughness penalty on Quincy Williams, kind of shocking from a guy like him. And Aaron Glenn addressed that in the press conference. He talked about, you know, next. So what are you looking for this week from players, such as, like, you know, fixing things to say to get better for the Bills next week?
The Bills. So that's going to be the biggest concern this week they need to focus on.
Zack Rosenblatt covers the New York Jets for The Athletic. Thank you so much for joining us again here on Sports Extra. Zack, great to see you in person and also here tonight on the show.
Yeah, great to see you, Tina.
All right, we will be right back with